Alrighty. Tootie, we are here for Division D West Coast Finals. We had Off-Brand Cereal, the number 1 seed, versus the number 6 seed of Mildly Interesting. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready for this. I have 8 million scenes for us to go through and enjoy while we make the teams wait in the lobby forever.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, they are busy with themselves right now, chatting like crazy.
I'm seeing that. I see all the chat. At least they're having fun with that. So, first thing we'll do, we did have map selection, so let's bring up that screen. We had Off-Brand decide that they want to take map pick in the first game, so they decided to take Infernal Shrines. They also did ban Battlefield of Eternity, and Mildly Interesting did ban Curse Hollow. Do you have any thoughts on any of that went down?
I think it's pretty interesting that Battlefield of Eternity got banned out by Off-Brand Serial because that is that one single map they have lost so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Battlefield of Eternity in the last round of the playoffs, so immediately banned out by them. I'm not sure if they hate it now or if it's just to show that they don't want to play it anymore here this season. I don't know. It's fun.
Right. I should add though, this nifty map selection screen is brought to us by Weenus Tech. So shout out to Weenus if he's even watching. Who knows? But wanted to make sure to give credit where credit is due. So let's go to another screen we got, which would be, let's see, the bracket, Division D bracket. We have obviously Off-Brand and Mildly Interesting on the East Coast side. United East versus That Was Jimmy, I believe, happened earlier this evening, and That Was Jimmy did come out victorious 2-0. So we're just looking to find out who will meet them in the finals.
Yeah. I casted this game with Mystic on Wednesday, actually. And it was a very entertaining game. That Was Jimmy has shown a pretty strong performance there, so they are ready for the grand finals.
Awesome. All right, let us go down. We have so many things to go over. We're going to go to quick smack talk between the teams, quote-unquote smack talk. Off-Brand Cereal apparently had like 3 logos. Like 3 logos that they sent me. So I have like all 3 of them in different spots on this. Actually, I see chat asking for Gus, and they're 2 minutes behind because Gus is currently on the screen for that. Mad Buddha wrote that he is the GOAT. I assume that it means giver of all time or something like that. I mean, I don't know what the reference is to that. Okay, I do know. I don't need you guys to tell me in chat what it's about. Okay, I actually know what it's about.
He knows people.
And then Wind Up Bird sent this picture saying, show this picture of our hardcore mascot Gus with his skull sweater because it will strike fear into Off-Brand. Do you think that's going to strike fear into them, Tootie?
I'm not sure. It looks a little bit too cute for me, to be honest. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe they are afraid of. It's a cat, right? I don't have a picture in front of me right now, but I think it's a cat.
Yeah, it's just a cat. And my cat got off my lap, thank goodness, because she was kind of being a whiner about everything. All right, so let's compare the teams real quick. We do have, yep, that's the one I wanted. Off-brand cereal versus mildly interesting records 20-0 for off-brand. This is, I believe, during the regular season. I don't know if I don't think it has playoffs. I could be wrong.
It does not.
All right, and mildly interesting is 15-10. Anything strike out on these stats that strikes out to you at all?
Yeah, so I mean, Off-Brand Cereal, they are the favorite tonight. They had a 25 map undefeated run through the season until last round in the playoffs, where they received their first loss on Battlefield of Eternity against Lightly Soldered. So they have an amazing run. On the other side, we have Mildly Interesting, who are a little bit more specific in their map choices. They love themselves some Sky Temple. They are 5-1 on that one, so I would expect us to see Sky Temple at some point tonight by Mildly Interesting. And yeah, but off-brand, they don't care. They play everything, basically. They don't have any specific map.
Yeah, I will say, regarding the stats, is hero pool strikes out to me always when I'm looking at this, and off-brand has like nearly double the hero pool of mildly interesting, at least based on what they've played so far. So I feel like that's always a great edge for a team to be able to maybe reach deep into their pockets for a secret strat, or if a hero is banned that they usually prefer, maybe they can find one that works good enough, right? As long as they have that flexibility. So speaking of those maps, though,
and they also have coming back to it, they also have an 8-man roster, so that's really hard to draft against when you don't really know who's showing up for tonight. I mean, they know now, but I mean, early in the day, we did not know.
That's true. Very hard to get to, and we will get to those rosters in a second. But map picks, as you stated before, off-brand is the number one on here. It's kind of hard to say what they're good and bad at when they are 100% victorious on every single map.
Exactly.
They've played the most on Braxis and Infernal and Cursed, so maybe that makes sense why mildly interesting banned Cursed. They picked one of the three, and maybe what they saw was that was the most frightening for them. For mildly interesting, they are really good on Sky Temple, like you said. And so clearly I do agree with you. They'll probably be picking that map if they are given the opportunity at some point this evening. Outside of that, nothing really else really sticks out. I think you've already talked about that. So let's go on to Off-Brand's hero. And here's what you were referencing. There's pretty much all 8 people play a good amount of games. With cute friend, I believe, is playing tonight. Yep, and they had the lowest amount. So how do you plan for someone who has the lowest amount?
Yeah, I mean, from the point of view of Mildly Interesting, they had to assume that Good Friend is probably like the sub player here who is probably not showing tonight, but he is here actually. So now they have to figure out what he's going to do here.
Any heroes really stick out to you off this list for off-brand?
So I noticed that they love Rhaegar. They have picked him 7 times. Like there's a Genji who also like had been in the first rotation 5 times. So these are heroes they should watch out for, I think. Besides that, it's a very tough team to draft against, as I mentioned already. Not only because they have this 8-man roster, but also that they flex a lot into different roles. Especially the tank role is like distributed over 3 or more members, and so you never really know who's gonna be the tank here and kind of that stuff. So it's complex but mildly interesting.
Yeah, I will say I'm really sad that Double J is not playing tonight because I see Chen as a top 3 hero, and oh my goodness, I want to see Chen, but that's clearly not happening tonight. The roster tonight for off-brand is Rakatan, Cute Friend, Freezebug, Mr. Dr. Patrick, and Mad Buddha. So those are the heroes up here that we'll most likely see. And speaking of, though, mildly interesting, they have Walrex, Rally, Magnus Opus, Happy Pants, and MS Windup Bird playing this evening. Which is basically the majority, like the majority of their games are played by those 5 individuals. So
Mhm.
anything that stands out to you on this roster for them?
I think one thing immediately strikes visually is that Magnus Opus only plays two heroes, like Malfurion and Sonya, which kind of makes no sense. But yeah, he is here tonight, and so we will see him either on Malfurion or Sonya, I guess. On the one side, we had Off-brand flexing the tank role all over the players. For the side of Mighty Interesting, it's something similar happening actually, but they flex the heal. They have like 3 players who play healers or supports. Depends on what they need. So in the playoffs, we have actually seen a lot of Anna by Walrex. It's not on the screen here, but in the 4 games, Anna was played 3 times by him. And yeah, we mentioned Malfurion by Magnus Opus. So if they need a Malfurion, he will be a healer. So they also can disguise their draft pretty well.
Yeah, I do see the Zarya is an interesting one for me to look at there, and I am noticing support is like all over the board, all over the place, right? Like Magnus plays it, MS Wind Up Bird plays it, and so it's kind of hard to say like who. And they play the majority of their games, so clearly they flex based on who is better at what healer.
Yeah, and there's also like an insane priority on Muradin, not only like in the number of games we played him, like 14 times, but also in the first rotation 13 times. Like this is a super high priority on that dwarf. So I'm interested to see if Off-brand Serial recognize that and if they're gonna ban out Muradin for Happy Pants.
Well, that's all we have for the opening screens. I hope you all enjoyed that because that was quite a bit. But I believe these teams have had enough fun chit chatting in the lobby. Shall we go into game number 1 on Infernal Shrines?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
See if they are ready. I should have asked them that before I teased everybody that we were about to go into Infernal Shrines. But if I was a professional, I would have done that. But I'm just here for fun. I see K. Does that mean that they're ready? I'm guessing. So while we wait for that, who do you think will be winning tonight? Who are you looking for? Like who do you think's gonna win tonight?
I want Mildly Interesting to at least to take a map here from Off-brand Serial. As I said before, like Off-brand Serial, they are a favorite here. Mildly Interesting is coming in as the underdog, but it's not the first time. They have knocked out the number 2 seed and the number 3 seed 2-0 so far in the playoffs. So I think they will be a tough opponent for Off-brand.
I think I agree. My heart always wants to root for the underdog, and also especially against a team like that's 20-0 in the regular season. Like that's a good team. They clearly deserve to be here. They probably kind of deserve to win, but I'm always rooting for the underdog because I think it just makes more fun. So, but we'll see.
Muradin, man.
Yeah, Muradin Genji bans quickly. But you're right. They play Muradin a lot. Best to take away a comfort pick.
Yeah, and there's the fact they absolutely focus Matt Buddha's hero pool here. Genji and Falstad being played by him quite a lot.
Kerrigan,
and the Kerrigan, obligatory Kerrigan ban.
I say like I don't remember seeing her, but it is Infernal Shrine. So first pick Johanna. That's a pretty good hero for the Shrine clear, and obviously a pretty solid tank.
Yeah, it's comfort for Happy Pants. When they don't get Muradin, he goes into the Johanna.
And it's pretty smart, to take your number 2 tank when you know they're still available on the board.
Yeah. And there comes Lunara and Zarya, so I expect Matt Butter on the Lunara here.
Wasn't Zarya the top 3 pick for Mildly Interesting on one of their? Is that a stealing pick maybe?
Let me check that.
Right, I think that was.
I'm not checking in.
Studio mode. Hey, look at that.
Vanquish the weak.
Yes, Zarya was a pick for Mildly Interesting.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that maybe that's a kind of a blockage. There's a Sonya though ban. So with Anna already picked, Sonya is gone. Do you think they take Malfurion, or is someone playing a different hero tonight?
Here, something is gonna happen here. So we either gonna see a double support, or we will see the first time that Magnus Opus is not playing my Furion or Sonya.
That's a good Alex Straza ban. They don't have their healer, and she's super strong on this map. We did skip over the fact that Jaina was also taken. Right now, Mildly Interesting has pretty good shrine control.
And Magnus was already typing in chat, "Let's do this."
With an
He's
Abathur,
hyped.
with an Abathur emoji. Is he
He's
giving away
pumped.
what he's gonna pick?
Maybe.
You got it.
So Nubarak is the tank of choice here on the side of Off-brand Syria. That's a quite interesting choice.
Well, they
I
got the
think,
Lucio
for
too.
Infernal.
That's gonna be. They're going for a divey dive. There it is.
It is the Everfer
Oh
indeed.
man, what a like. You gotta be careful of those emojis sometimes if you already have your hero highlighted.
And the Probius?
Yes!
What is going on here?
What's going on is fun. Fun city's going on, baby. Oh, I love it. So we got Probius, Lucio. How is this a dive comp with a Probius? Is that Probius gonna be just split pushing the whole game?
I have no idea. I mean, last time I have seen Probius in a serious game, I can't even remember.
I love these drafts on both teams. I'm ready for this.
Yeah. Oh, this will be so much fun. Okay, so we have Everfer and Probius here. So which draft do you like better?
Oh man, I think I like off-brands better, just because they do have the dive. The Probius is just fun, and I think they have. I mean, they're picking it. They have a strategy for it, and Anna does suffer a little bit against dive comps, and with an Anuvarok and Lucio, I could see them having a little bit of trouble with that. What about you?
I have to root for the probe. I mean, before I said I want to see like at least one map upset by Mighty Interesting, but I mean, come on, it's Probius.
Right? It's Probius. We gots to. Alright, we are into map number 1, Infernal Shrines. So let us see here. We've got on the side of off-brand. Oh, they're not going to be close together for me, are they? They're just going to be pains about that. Rakatan on Zarya, Mad Buddha on Lunara, Mr. Dr. Patrick on Anubarak, Coot Friend all the way back here on Lucio, and on the Probius, Freezebug.
And in the red, we have Mightily Interesting with an interesting comp here. Aberfer being played by Magnus Opus, Johanna being played by Happy Pants, Miss Winder Bird is playing with Jaina, Warrex on Vienna, and Rally on Deoric.
And it looks like we're going to have some cheese going up in the top lane with Probius manning the bot. Let's see how fast Mildly Interesting is able to respond to this. So looking through the level 1 talents, do you see anything kind of sticks out to you?
No, not really. I mean, there's like pretty much the usual stuff going on here. I'm not a lyric player, so I'm not sure if that's something particular here.
The Auric, that's a typical one. The one that sticks out to me is Abathur. Survival Instincts increases Locust health by 40% and duration by 40%. Normally you see the shield talent. So, but obviously on their comp, they don't really have someone to hard carry like that. So it looks like they're going for an Abathur push build, maybe to counter the Probius a bit.
Yeah, and off-brand they immediately start the aggression in the top lane, taking out the early tower here. And we see Aberfer in the mid lane, and that's something we don't see that often.
Way in the mid lane, no fear. And Rally and Freezebug are duking out the bottom, but let's go back to the top. Off-brand is getting some serious value out of Zarya's shields, and they're taking down those walls without really much contest.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the second tower, and I mean, this is the power of Zarya with the shields and of Anubarak spawning the minions when they need it. And yeah, in the meantime, Probius and Leroy doing the battle in the bottom, so I'm actually not sure who wins that normally.
It looks like Rally's currently winning, but Probius will slowly push him back. He's got better wave clear. Magnus, though, has no fear in the middle because Off-Brand has no interest in going anywhere else but the top lane right now.
Yeah. And so far, although they get the damage done here with the towers, the XP is currently in favor of Mighty Interesting just because they have missed every single minion in the mid lane so far of Panseria.
Yep, and then while those towers were some experience, it's not enough, right? But Jaina has the back, so I'm gonna guess that Off-Brand is gonna be pushing really strong right now. And I think I'm gonna get a tower. You think they get this tower soon? I'm not sure they can stop this.
Yeah, it's tough. So now they are sending the Auric top and Jaina onto the bottom to deal with
Swap.
growth.
I have to say, it's a very interesting strategy so far from Off-Brand.
Yeah. So, I mean, with the Auric top, that means there's like no damage left here, right?
Yeah, like I don't understand the swap. What's Leoric gonna do? Because he doesn't really have great drain hope targets against this, and also Zarya can just shield up whoever gets drained. I guess they're hoping just for like to body them with more meat.
Yeah, maybe that's the idea here. Maybe clearing out the wave a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, this is weird, but they still do get much more experience from the Everfrost soak. I mean, Probius so far had not been interested in double soaking mid. I mean, if you would go there, you could probably kill Everfur.
So here's the thing about this comp, right? Off-Brand needs to kind of win, right? They can't really let this game drag out. I think if this game drags out, their comp loses a lot of value, and they can start losing the game. Because I mean, they're slowly losing the XP lead, and and Mildly Interesting has no towers or forts, and they, in theory, could get some at some point, right? So it's like an all-in strategy, but they don't seem to be slowing down. They're almost 4 minutes in.
No, they don't. They also got their first blood here on the Auric, who's respawning now, and they just keep going. They keep going on the towers here of the keep, which are actually worth a lot of XP. So if they start getting these, they will be in the lead of the XP, minion soak or not.
And they are Mildly Interesting's trying to soak up and get the objective. And it looks like, okay, here comes Off-Brand. They got a tower, and they're finally coming to objective halfway through. Magnus has got good map awareness, gets the heck out of there, and he looks like he's going to burrow top, I would assume. Alright, we're going to fight for this shrine. We got a good lead for Mildly Interesting.
Oh, this Thunderbird.
That Lucio.
Oh, this Thunderbird gets the heals here from Vienna. Barely. It was already down to 80 hit point.
But the Lucio is so frustrating with that. He's able just to sneak on back there and just harass your back line, and they've already caught up on the objective.
Yeah, it's 29 to 29 right now, and now they're taking the lead even. Jaina goes down, and that's a big part of their wave clear on the shrine, so they're gonna definitely lose this year.
Right. Oh, sleep dart on Lunar, but I'm not sure that does anything.
Happy Pants has to Hearthstone back, and I mean, with this Punisher, the front wall is already opened by the Probius against the Jaina. And so this will be the second port going now in hands of Off-Brand Serio.
And Zarya does have Field of Heat, and she's pretty much at full energy all the time. Oh, there goes Ana. This is not looking good at all for Mildly Interesting.
No, not at all. They are full level behind now. The Punisher is still very healthy. He's now knocking on the key front wall here. And I mean, we have seen what they can do without a Punisher to this wall.
Right. Probius is up top, trying to get some more split soak. Looks like a new Abathur has gone back to the mid, but I mean, this fort wall is going down, or keep wall going down, and if they get some more kills, which is about might happen. Ooh, that was so close for Leoric.
Yeah. So he goes most out of that, but level 10 is now being reached by Off-Brand Serial, that we might actually look here at the very first game.
Alright, we got Pylon Overcharge, Thornwood Vine, Cocoon, Graviton Surge, and Sound Barrier.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here, pretty much what you would expect.
Yep.
Oh, we are in. Surge. The noob dives it, and they don't get the kill on Jaina.
Do they get on Walrix though? Walrix? Oh, oh my goodness.
That was a pretty close call there.
Poison damage just slow enough for her to get in there into safety.
But it is a keep down. I mean, we are 7 minutes in and we have a first keep down by Off-Brand Serial. And it's not with the Savannas, it's just with pure pushing power.
Yes, Mule would be very nice, and Mule was taken. Ballista Spores. I had this Abathur build. Interesting. The range on the mines. I feel like the team fighting would be better for it right now.
Final overcharge is used on the Shaman camp in the top. Eric has to deal with that thing. It is a very creative draft by Off-Brand Serial, I like it. And it's so far so effective, so let's see how things change if level 10 come in. And where goes Jaina?
Yeah, Jaina got caught out and Lucio speed with a Nubarak burrow. Let's not make her a living Jaina.
Bridgekeeper's SP would be very nice here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how does mildly interesting get back into this game. Cause I don't like the Abathur build, unfortunately. I just don't see the value. And he took Evolve Monstrosity. Yes, he did. Oh man. So they're trying to outpush with the Abathur, but I kind of feel like they're better off just team fighting with it at that point.
Yeah, I would have also loved to see like the evolution on Jaina. I mean, with a double.
So strong. And can you imagine the two healing talents or the shield talents on 1 and 2 or 1 and 4 right now to help them get a little bit extra sustain? Like I feel like it would be much. Like I don't think they're getting good push off this, but again, the longer this game goes, I do feel the better mildly interesting team is. Oh, here comes a monstrosity.
There's a Ring of Frost on maneuver. Blizzard is following up, but he's getting the shields from Zarya and from Lucio, so he will be just fine.
That's not who you want in the Graviton Surge, and they do get the first kill on the Nubarak.
And almost the kill on the Nara too.
Right.
The monstrosity was hunting her down.
Better keep that monstrosity alive though, because you know the longer it's alive, the more powerful it is.
Indeed. So now they have that one pick. They have their first blood in their own hands. Might be interesting, and they are immediately starting to take the shrine. They have 7 skeleton defenders so far, and Uber still 5 seconds until he will be back.
Yep. And ooh, it's a good boop. It looks like Raleigh might be able to get away. Yeah, it looks like they'll get away.
Yep. Borik's absolutely on point with his healing so far in this game.
It's looking like, I mean, they're still getting bodied out by Off-Brand, but you can see kind of small signs of life are mildly interesting. Like, if they can just kind of win another team fight or two, maybe they can get back into this.
Yep. So, but this Punisher is going into the hands of Off-Brands again. Although they got the kill on Nubarak might be interesting, they have to give up another Punisher. And I mean, what we have seen so far, I mean, they could almost be happy if they just lose a fort here.
I think they would be really happy only lose a fort here. Oh, that Jaina and Johanna. There's a panic Ring of Frost to try to get him off him a little bit, but Jaina goes down. Walrix trying to bail with an Ana.
So there's no damage on this Punisher as the fort goes down.
Nope, and Zarya is close to what, 3/4 half energy, and they're gonna get some more. Do you think they get the keep here? That's a pretty healthy Punisher.
I mean, if it goes like the last Punisher, then yeah, definitely. So far the Punisher is down to 40%. The dive off the nuke has been used already, and they are all back on the field. The difference is this time they have level 10, so can they use it to defend this keep? I don't think so.
And they do still have a 2-level lead. They do get the keep. They're gonna back up from here, and mildly interesting. It's just pushed back. Bottom and mid lane and top lane's not that much better. It does have a lot of minions though, thanks to the Abathur Locust, but other than that top lane, they're not looking good at all.
They have Off-Brand Zero for commanding 2-level lead here over opponents, and we're gonna reach level 16 soon, and I mean they will keep up the aggression.
They're gonna get all the camps. They're gonna paint the bottom half of the map blue. I mean, do you think that Mild Lane has to force a fight here before 16?
I don't think they get the chance. I mean, 60 is already here basically for off-brand cereal. Um, do I have to fight against 16? You mean?
Oh,
But-
does Magnum get away?
Oh,
Oh,
he's
yes, he did.
getting out. They probably have to. I mean, I'm not sure they can. Maybe they can soak 16 before the next objectives. It might be possible. I mean, the lanes are pushing into their favor, so to speak, for the soak.
Yep. And to respond to Ektar in chat, yeah, my Nightbot needs to be tuned down a bit, I think, because for whatever reason it hates caps, and I need to fix that. But all right, here we go. We're gonna looks like off. Can't say it. Off brand.
2 Ring of Frost hits.
Ooh, with the really good. Sorry, oh, why my brain is like just dying. Graviton Surge. Johanna goes down. Anna goes down. That Jaina's gonna go down. The Yorick's probably gonna go down, and this is
They're
probably
looking for more
game.
here.
That's probably
And
game.
That should be game. I mean, they don't have minions, but it didn't bother them at all this game so far. And they have a massive sieging power, and they're bringing it to the core right here.
Yeah, and they're just slowly whittling it down. There's nothing Abadar can do about this. There's just nothing that they can do. It's over. And that was a really strong comp by off-brand cereal. They clearly caught mildly interesting off guard. And that was a pretty quick less than 14 minute round 1 game.
Yeah, very, very smart draft by off-brand also with my Furion ban. The Sonya ban to force Magnus Opus off his 2 comfort heroes, which he has shown so far. I mean, the Everfer did certainly not have the punch they was hoping he would have here, and I mean, the composition of off-brand like completely caught them off guard, and yeah, this is a 13 and a half minute game. Off-brand's cereal looking strong.
All right, and let's see if what mildly interesting wants to do for game number 2. They want first pick. So let's do this. So while I'm trying to figure out what map we're going to next, what were your takeaways from that game?
My takeaway here is that off-brand's strategy pool goes pretty deep. So we are now sitting at the division West finals, and I mean, I'm not assuming that they hold something back for the grand finals, but I mean, this is what I would do in their place. So bringing out strategy like this, not in the grand finals, but here in the Western, that tells me that they have even more behind that, and so that must concern me for Mighty Interesting, like, because now they give them a map choice even to off-brand, and it is gonna be, is it Sky Temple?
Yeah, I was gonna announce that in a second. But yeah, we're going to Sky Temple next. This was picked by off-brand cereal.
And this is Mighty Interesting's strongest map.
Yeah,
that means to me, off-brand cereal has prepared something here as well, like they did for Infernal Shrines. So Mighty Interesting, they have to really be on guard here, like what's going to happen in this draft, to figure out what off-brand cereal is bringing.
Yeah, it's an interesting pick, considering that this is considered like I said, a good map for mildly interesting. Let me try to do all this at once. Let me actually make sure I'm trying to update everything too. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the map selector. Bam. Oh, I'm on studio mode. Never mind. Hold on. Let's try this again. Map selector. Bam. There's the sound effect. It helped the second time. So we did have winning team. Off-brand cereal. Off-brand has now chosen Sky Temple which is this map. And there we go. Bam. That is the correct one for Sky Temple. Yeah, that's Dragonshire. I always get those two maps mixed up because they have freaking dragons on their in their picture.
Yes, sure. There's too many dragons in this game.
Right? Alright, so there we go. Those are the map selections. Again, this second map was again picked by Off-Brand. Game number 1 did go to Off-Brand Serial. Mildly Interesting has opted for first pick in map number 2. And as you mentioned, this is a good map for Mildly Interesting. So let's see if the teams are ready to go into this match. If I can join the lobby chat.
And it's also, I mean, if you have something prepared, like from a point of view of Off-Brand Serial, if you have something prepared for Sky Temple, it throws off your opponent already just picking that map, because Mildly Interesting was probably expecting to pick that map themselves. So they prepared the draft most likely for having second pick in there and not first pick. But that's out of event on ours too. So it's Off-Brand Serial is playing on every level here.
Yeah. They just want to show that they deserve to make it into the finals. So Sky Temple.
Okay, first pick and first ban in the hands of Mildly Interesting.
Yeah, I'm updating Team 1 score.
What do you want to ban here?
Yeah, what is the ban? Ballstead is the ban apparently again, so they really don't want to face that.
Yeah, it's again a target on Mad Buddha here. I wonder if they're gonna go Genji again, or if they take out Lunara this time from his pool. The Moradin Bank comes out.
So what was Mildly Interesting on this map? Like 6-1?
5-1.
5-1?
Yeah.
So
at least in the season.
Right. And Off-Brand was just, undefeated in all maps during the regular season, so.
Yeah.
But this is Mildly Interesting's best map. This is a best of 3 for everyone joining us late. Reminder, this is Division D West Coast Final. Before this, the winner of this game moves on to the Division D Finals matchup, which will be against This Is Jimmy, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So there comes the Zarya ban from Mildly Interesting. They don't want to run into the same trap again here, as it seems. But
there's enough cheese for one match, Off-Brand.
Yeah. I mean, how likely is it that they do exactly the same thing, alright?
Johanna, I would say it's very likely, because I think that's a very huge comfort pick with Muradin already off the board.
So Johanna is being taken again?
I mean, they could still... The thing is, if you don't have an answer to that cheese that was run the first game a little bit...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Lucio again, so I'd be afraid of it happening again. I would, just because any map you can technically kind of do that to. And Sky Temple's a pretty good one, because the objectives are usually split, so there's usually 2 spots that people have to go to, channel.
Structure damage wins Sky Temple.
Yep. Alright. Varian. A Varian and a Lucio pick. They're going for dive again. What do you think the answer is for Mildly Interesting here?
This is Nocivo and Lily.
That's an interesting answer.
That's another blind. I'm not sure what's the Lily doing in here. As I said, they flex the support. I have no idea who's gonna play with Lily.
I mean, they already banned Cassia, which would kind of explain the Lily pick. Dahaka just got banned. I don't remember him being banned last game. Do you think an Abathur pick's coming?
For Mildly Interesting, you mean? Or
for Off-Brand?
Oh, yeah.
Because Volstad's off the map. Dahaka's off the map. They have a healer in Lily, so they most likely won't take Brightwing. So you're getting kind of short on, global heroes. And the ETC's now been banned.
Yeah. It might be Abathur, yeah. It would be something Mildly Interesting has to deal with.
This is a great Abathur map as well.
It is. So they could definitely do it. I'm I don't have the stats open here to see if I actually play it.
There it is, Abathur and Illidan.
They do play it. Here it comes.
Here comes
Illidan.
Illidan, boys. Is that?
So they have
that
shown
taunt
Illidan
variant?
twice in the season. I guess I just taunt variant.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
or is it Windblades, or is it Colossal?
I mean, after
What's his
the
name?
Provius in the first game, everything is possible from here.
Because Windblade's variant with an Abathur hat is super toxic. I mean, super annoying to play. Oh,
And Kerrigan made her way all the way through the draft here, and Mike Anderson is showing that. And Valera is one of their big heroes here. Actually, 8-2 in the season with Valera.
So you know what though? That Lily pick makes a lot more sense with an Illidan and variant. Maybe they
Yeah.
sniffed out the Abathur hat
So it begins.
and they picked Lily
Maybe they
ahead of
did.
time.
And there comes the Asmodon for the wave control. Okay, so again, very interesting draft here by these two teams. I love it.
I really like the what I feel like is a response from Mildly Interesting. Like to kind of counter what they felt was about to come from Off-Brand.
Yeah, how did they know that Illidan is coming here? They picked double blind. I mean, the Johanna was set in stone after the Murden pick,
Mhm.
but the Lily pick was totally not forced upon them, and they do get it.
Yeah. I like it. I actually I think I like their draft better in this matchup.
Yeah, me too. And this is not me saying I want to see a game 3. I actually like the draft really more than Off-Brand Serials.
Yeah.
But
But let's be honest,
so-
we want to see a game number 3. We
want to.
really want a game 3. Come on. We're going.
But also last time I had no idea how Off-Brand Zero is gonna play it with their composition, and so let's wait it out and see what Off-Brand Zero is actually doing with what they have.
So on the left, we have Off-Brand Serial with a match win. Cute Friend is on the Lucio again. Freeze Bug is on Abathur. Mr. Dr. Patrick on the Asmodan. Rakaton on Varian. And Mad Buddha on Illidan.
And in the red, it's mighty interesting. Lily being played by Magnus Opus. Happy Pants on Johanna again. Miss Bird on the Sibo this time. Warrex on Valera. And Rayleigh on Kerrigan.
Alright, we looks like we got, again, kind of the same splits. Who's, going... They're covering all of the lanes for Off-Brand. I think they're afraid of some kind of cheese? I don't know what kind of cheese would be with these comps, though.
It looks like they just don't want to give a fight here.
I don't think they're favored in this early fight.
Yeah.
Alright, let's
So
take a look
also
at the level.
Varian is not really a hero until level 4.
He did go Lion's Maw at 1, which does point away from Windblades.
Yeah, it must be taunt. Like,
Yeah, it's
the
gotta
only
be
one
taunt.
we have.
I mean, it would be, as he likes to say, bold.
Oh, look at bot lane. Cute Friend is actually falling quite low there.
Whoa! From the Lucio hat. And Mad Buddha on the Illidan. So I'm just looking through the talents. We do have Regenerative Microbes on the Abathur this time. That's probably a better pick for team fighting. Gluttony on the Asmodan, so they're looking to hit heroes with the globe. And everything else looks kind of the same, or the usual to me. Any thoughts, Kieran?
I mean, Spider build on a 0. I personally these days go rather into the toads, but I think spiders are still viable.
Spiders kind of make sense with how mobile their team is.
Yeah.
Because they can keep up, right? Oh, Rakaton barely gets away from the Valera.
Yeah, Warrex is sniffing on his first kill here in this game. Almost got the Lucio boredom. Now Varian was pretty low there. It's not much missing there for the first blood in favor for might be interesting.
I do like that Mildly Interesting is already getting the camp. I mean, I guess they both teams got the camps pretty quickly, but Off-Brand has the luxury of an Illidan.
Yeah. So the siege camps are out. XP advantage a little bit in favor of Off-Brand Serial, so some minions had been missed here. Asmodon was in the top lane a little bit earlier. That might be interesting.
That's not a favorable matchup in the bot lane. They're gonna need a rotation from somebody. And it looks like Happy Pants and Wind Up Bird are holding down bot, rolling down bot.
There come the reinforcements.
And the spiders are all over Illidan.
Indeed, yeah, the spiders are pretty good against Illidan, right? There's nothing you can do against them.
Yeah, but unless
You
you
can't
can
dodge them.
yeah, dive away. But so far, all towers are still intact, and we're almost 3 minutes in. So this is already a better match for mildly interesting.
Very noteworthy.
I say that, and then I'm watching the bot lane. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. They made the 3 minutes.
All over it already.
Magic flows through the temple.
But yeah,
Guardian.
yeah, it is already a better game for mildly interesting. I mean, considering that the first game was a nightmare for them. So the bar is not too high here.
It looks like they're gonna
Looks like
kind
they're
of split.
changing.
Yeah, there's an exchange. Illidan's hard pushing bot. He's got one tower. Looks like Walrix is trying to come, but they are scouted by an Aberther mine.
He still goes in, however. Mad Buddha
Illidan
jumped
don't
in.
care, but he's gonna die for that.
Oh, Mad Buddha 5 HP goes down. So Warwick gets the kill there, even though being scouted out beforehand.
Where's the B step, Walrix? We're supposed. Oh wait, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're not playing Hero League.
And Mighty Interesting is also taking control of a mid beacon, mid temple.
Yeah, one
so
down.
winning on each lane here.
Oh, speaking of, Varian did go taunt. And is he gonna get the? Oh, Magnus does squeak away with the Lily.
There's no lines more available here. It was already been used, but now they are 5-man top. Illidan is on the camp, so they could go in here and try to steal that one back.
Looks like they are going to contest this. They realize that they have the advantage. Can they get the Asmo? Oh yeah. Nice pull and
Nicely
stun by Carry.
interesting. Getting the second kill here.
They're pretty close in XP. Off-brand Serial does have a slight XP advantage, but it's kind of going quickly, or catching back up quickly. It's mildly interesting.
You are stronger than I believe.
Yeah.
So far, I'm really liking this comp and map play by mildly interesting much more than game number
And
one.
they're going for the invade here on Mad Buddha,
That
and
is
they are
not
gonna
good.
get it.
Yeah, he might be dead. Oh, that's a miss pull. Oh. Rally might be dead from the
Really a
fort.
bit overextended here.
Oh, they get it.
Recton is coming in.
I still.
Throwing out the lines more.
But to say mildly interesting's got the better team right now. I don't know if I'd want to fight this if I'm off-brand Serial.
Oh,
Ooh,
Mad Buddha barely getting out here.
so close. Asmodan work on his stacks. He's already at 80.
And that was a nice little steal by Mighty Interesting. Almost gotten a kill out of it too.
Yeah, I think it's still good though, right? You're kind of getting in their heads a little bit, saying, "Oh, we know you're here. We're not afraid of you. We may have beaten us soundly game 1, but game number 2, we're not scared. We're coming."
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Let's take a look. We have any interesting talent picks? Oh, ooh, attack speed, Adrenal Overload for the Abathur, and the damage on the Needle Spine.
Yeah, empowering with Illidan even further.
That Illidan's gonna be super tanky.
The night of the sun grows.
It is
Yeah, we
full
see.
spider build for an
It is
Azero.
full spider build.
He's like, "You want spiders? 'Cause I want spiders."
And after the settle, it's still half a level lead here for Off-Brand Serial, so they will have an early level 10 here over the bottom temple. So it will be interesting to see if they're gonna contest Mighty Interesting or if they just try to push out the lanes instead.
Yeah. Off-brand Serial will hit 10 first. So I'm gonna guess that Mildly Interesting is just gonna push out lane and try to catch back up and soak.
They do have a camp in the top pushing there. There's only an Arbor to defend it, so Carrigan can actually get some big value there.
Walrix comes from behind and gets the Illidan with a great opener with
And-
Valera.
And that is a huge kill for Mighty Interesting. It not only gives them the catch-up XP and the level 10, but now they can control the bot temple. They still have the camp pushing in the top. Carrigan can now come down and they can look for even more kills if Offbrand Zero decides to stick around.
And that was really well timed. Like, they did that right, I think, as they hit, as Off-Brand hit 10, or maybe before they hit 10, but the point, like, the timing is really great. And now they just get, oh, this is devastation here. No prisoners.
Kerrigan is getting value.
Everyone's dying over in this piece. And Mildly Interesting is taking kind of command of this game right now.
Yeah, almost level lead. They have 6-0 kills. And we see actually also the Ultralisk being abused here
We got a boss call.
by Kerrigan.
A very heavy melee comp on both teams. And so far, Mildly Interesting's executing their comp a little bit better than Off-Brand.
Indeed. So there's the boss in the hands of Mildly Interesting, which will keep their opponents busy. There's also a siege camp.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at the map now, I mean, Offbrand Zero they got the early towers, but Mildly Interesting they take forts.
And while they're busy taking clear out the boss bottom, Mildly Interesting is pushing out the lanes from mid and top, trying to take control of this map. And then, do they think, can they get a good amount of fort damage? Abathur, I assume, took Mule, right? Abathur did not take Mule. Hello.
Oh, here you go.
That's
He did go with the
interesting.
needle
So
spine.
any damage dealt is permanent. Oh, they're looking for a fight.
4v3 here in the middle.
Is
Not something
Walrix been
Offbrand
sitting there
wants.
long enough so they can't see them?
You're it.
I think so, right? I think they're completely invisible right now.
Yeah. He's sitting there invisible, right? I mean, Illidan has the hunt, so he can come in at any time, so this is not really a 5v3 here. But they are posturing here, might be
I
interesting.
know, right? I'm like,
They-
I feel like
they
we're
threaten
both
the
like
forward.
waiting. There's something's happening. Something's about to happen, right? It's like I want to go over the ultimates, but everyone's here. Oh, it's party time. They're going for the Varian. Stunned
Big
to
stun.
oblivion. Wow. And
Kerrigan doing some work here.
right.
Together with Walrix on that Valera, they executed so nicely.
Rally is proving that it was not just an obligatory Kerrigan ban in game number 1. It was a target ban.
It was needed. And this time they got the Varian very late in the draft actually. There had been plenty of opportunity for Offbrand to take that away in one way or the other.
Oh
And
wait,
the Zero goes down at the top.
I missed that. Then we got rotated on. I saw so much blue up there. I didn't really see the the red. Well, so they're gonna split towers this time. It looks like. So while we're doing this, let's take a look at. We didn't take a look at the ultimates. We
Yeah.
have Ultimate Evolution for Abathur, Shield Wall for Varian, which is technically Taunt, so same thing. The Hunt, as you mentioned, for Illidan, Tide of Sin for Asmodan, and Sound Barrier for Lucio.
Yeah, and on the other side, for might be interesting, we have the Smoke Bomb, Ultralisk, Ravenous Spirit, Blessed Shield, and Jax. So right now teams are kind of trading structures, and I mean that is something might be interesting. Happily is doing because
yeah.
their structures is they have much more structure. There comes the Hunt now.
Onto the Lily, but she's able to sneak away with her Happy Feet, and oh, Illidan's getting super low. Is he gonna get away? Looks like they will. I don't think anyone's gonna die here.
Both teams very bruised, and Seaborn the whole time is in the top, securing the rest of the temple. So that was a 5v4 actually for might be interesting, and they did not lose anybody here, and Hunt had been used by Offbrand Serial, so that was a win for what might be interesting.
Mildly interesting. Then look at that damage to the keep right now, and I'm seeing the chat. They're talking about Mule being a must pick for Abathur here, and this is why Mule's a must pick for Abathur here. Like,
yeah,
especially on Sky Temple, like it's so good value because the shots always have to hit the forts. I don't know if that Needle Spine's getting enough value where that Mule would be getting right now, but
yeah,
that
it's
is
putting a lot of eggs into the Illidan basket.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. We got. Well, are they looking for a fight? It looks like they're looking. Walrix is
Yeah.
looking.
They do have the level 16 here.
They do have map control still.
Matt Witter is harpstoning in the bot lane.
Maybe he knew he was being rotated on. He could feel it in his demon blood.
Apparently. So there's the
Oh,
invade now on the
Nazebo.
Seeker. Oh,
Yeah, he's
well,
not.
the ice block notice the damage of Asmodean, but there's still 4 people around him, so he's gonna die here. And it looks like it might be interesting. Take the opportunity to clear out the wave in the bottom lane to get this siege giants into position to knock on that keep.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
might
that
be
would
able
be
to
a nice
get the
little win.
keep. It is. Off-brand is coming to respond, so actually maybe probably won't get that in time. The other lane still being pushed back from that other wave, the wave prior, kind of hurts them in their push with the siege camp.
And on that Nazebo kill, the hunt had been used. I'm not sure that was needed, but now it's down, so it's still on cooldown. But
Only more
that
21 more
gives might be
seconds.
interesting some time to have a 5v5 fight here on the bottom.
Every ult is up except for the hunt, but we'll be back in 9 seconds. Nazebo trundling his way back to join the team. This is an interesting position though, from mildly interesting.
Yeah.
Lily's kind of deep in there.
Lily is kind of deep, but she can handle it. It's Lily.
Oh wow!
So there comes the Jax out. There's no interrupt. There's the taunt finally. Magnus, he goes down. No, he doesn't. No, okay, Illidan.
He lived
is
way
taken out
longer than I
first
thought. But because of how long the Lily lives with the cups, they're able to get a 3-for-1.
And it's not done yet. Freezeberg and Cute Friend. Okay, Freezeberg is of course the clone, but Cute Friend. Can he survive with his Lucio here against Nazebo? Surely.
Ulrich is chasing the Lucio. Are they gonna get him? Oh man!
Oh, this
Oh,
fight hurts.
so close.
So much spider build, and it was not enough there.
They are gonna take in their boss. There is no keep to stop this boss. Ooh, do they? Yeah, they get 2 temples right now. They're gonna get good value on them. I don't know. This could be very close to game right now.
Yeah, so I mean it will not be game just yet. They do get good damage here on the keep, on the fountain. The boss will be pushing to core, but I mean they can clear the boss.
Well, what I mean though is if they decide to push with the boss and get another like 2 more picks or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, if they get more kills, then this could be game very quickly. Definitely.
It is. I mean, it looks like they're looking. They're not bothering. Oh, they're going. Okay, they're going mid. They're just gonna use the boss to get free.
So I mean basically that's a free keep for them.
Yeah, they're playing the smart, safe way, right? They're saying we have massive control. You have to clear this boss. We're gonna take it free shots on your keeps and get more catapults.
Yeah, and I mean that's a full temple. That's keep down for sure. I mean that will give them about 19.5 levels here, so they're gonna reach 20 before their opponent very much earlier. And then they can still look for a team fight and eventually win the game with that.
And this is an opponent that has an Abathur soaking multiple lanes.
Indeed, if you look at minions, we have actually 5,000 XP more by minions from off-brand serial, but they are still 1.5 level behind. And look at that!
Oh, I missed that.
Goes in, sneaks Abathur in front of his own core. Warwick with a play here.
Yeah, and they had 11 kills to 3. Lily's Cups is at it again. Oh man, it feels like Off-Brand just can't do anything against this team.
Yeah, the Lara Kerrigan is completely destroying them here. Similarly, as Off-Brand Serial destroyed their opponents with their composition in the first game.
And I have to say, Walrix, that was very rude to go and do that sneaky stuff right when I'm drinking a drink of water.
That's Valera for you.
Yeah, Lucio goes down. Mad Buddha's gonna sneak away with Illidan, but that's gonna be the 3rd keep. And it's
very much even game.
yeah, this is if Varian goes down, is this gonna be game?
Varian fought, and might be interesting. They bring it back here on the 2nd map, bringing us to map number 3 with their own little comp here.
Yep, that was really well. It's not technically over yet. Hold on a second. They're trying. They got the Illidan clone. Big damage from the Asmodean. The Evil goes down. Illidan goes down though, and that is guaranteed. We are gonna go to a game number 3. Mildly interesting. takes out Off-Brand in convincing fashion.
And this is the most interesting we wanted to see here, right? The upsetters. They knocked out the number 2, they knocked out the number 3, both 2-0. They know how this game works on their side as well, and they're taking over map from Off-Brand Series, giving them a second map loss in this season.
That is the upset, half upset special, right? One map down, one win down, and one more needed. Any let's see. I mean, I other than the mule, not non-pick'em Abathur, I still feel like the comps, like mildly interesting, just outdrafted Off-Brand Serial, right? Like they knew, like they sniffed out the Illidan, who and Off-Brand still picked the Illidan into the Lili and Johanna, and they just dominated that game with great team fights and great engages on those team fights.
Indeed, also like a little bit of a lapse here by Off-Brand Serial to not ban out the Kerrigan, to not ban out the Lilera, which both had been used by Magic Interesting before.
All right, so we are going to go to a game number 3. I'm waiting to see what Off-Brand wants to do, if they want to do map pick or first pick. While we're doing this, bam. I mean, this has been entertaining. Not only do we have fun and different type of comps than what I know I'm used to seeing. I don't know about you, but I think it's been really well. Like both teams have played 2 really good games.
Indeed, and now it all comes down to game number 3.
All right, so Off-Brand has chosen to map pick. So let's see what map they want.
We're
going to Dragonshire. So I'm gonna make that in a second. I'm gonna let Magnus know real quick.
Dragonshire, all right. Let's have a look at that.
All right. So
Dragonshire, Off-Brand Serial has shown this map during the season only once, and mildly interesting. They have played it 3 times and won 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another map choice you would rather expect on the side of mildly interesting than on Off-Brand Serial. I mean,
so Off-Brand chose Dragonshire. Oops, wrong one. There it is, picked, and it goes there.
And both teams basically have shown already by their previous drafts that they are not stepping back from any kind of cheese composition here, right?
Yeah,
so we might actually even have to consider Moradas here, like some juice pirates.
I mean, that second one, I mean, I don't think there's any cheese in, like, I mean, I would even say the first game wasn't really full cheese. It was just, like really strong and hard to deal with. But that second game was clearly like both teams had like dive team fight comps where they're like, we're going in, baby. And someone's dying. Like no one's leaving this without death. All right. I'm making sure. Let's see. Set captain. No match history. Team 2. Perfect. So again, to those of you late, this is a Weenus map selection screen. I think it's pretty awesome. It's pretty nice to use. So mad props to him. Thank you all for joining us. This is the Division D West Coast Final versus Off-Brand Serial, number 1 seed, and the number 6 seed, Mildly Interesting. And they just tied it up 1-1. So we are going to game number 3, the decider.
Indeed. And I mean, just by looking at game 1 and game 2, both teams would definitely be deserving to go into the grand finals, but we need a winner here.
Yep. I am excited. Like we've seen some spicy drafts. We've seen some really good team fight, team play, and map control. I'm excited for this match on Dragonshire. What do you expect to see? Anything change? Any changes in the map bans or anything?
I expect the Kerrigan ban from the side of Off-Brand Serial.
Yes, I think you're right. They're like, fool us once.
They
Ooh,
cannot get-
Johanna
Oh, they
banned.
changed it up. Alright, so where comes with Johanna instead of Remove and Burn?
Interesting though. So they're gonna ban Mirrodin as well, or they're
That would be
gonna.
an option.
Well, that'd be like the super duper, like, all right, beat us with something else, right? Ooh, Valera. They hated that more than the Kerrigan.
Alright. I mean, it might be interesting. They showed during the season Valera a little bit more than the Kerrigan. So I can get behind that ban. But it leaves Kerrigan open.
It does.
And but
the
it is
Mirrodin.
gonna be more. It might be interesting. They're not changing it up. They keep their first rotation on the tank.
Which I still think is a good idea. Ooh, a Genji pick. And this is Dragonshire, so Brightwing is banned on this map still. And she is usually a good Genji counter.
Indeed, that's a very good point you make there. We have to remember that Brightwing is banned here.
I will fight to my
As well, the gentleman's agreement between these two teams that Tyrande is not using her healing ult
Yep.
on this map.
And there's the Kerrigan, as you said. So what do we see? We see a support or offlaner? I don't think they take
I
next.
think we always go support here.
Ooh, Anna, that's a brave choice.
It's very brave. I mean, Kerrigan and Muradin, they are very divey, which leaves the backline pretty open for Genji.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not sold on that one.
Me neither.
I have
I
so
think
many concerns.
Anna will have is dancing on a blade here.
Yeah, like I think she's gonna have a hard time staying alive. I mean, the first game they took the Anna, and she had a hard time staying alive because Off-Brand just dove her repeatedly. Interesting, ETC banned again.
There is a priority by Off-Brand Serial for ETC, so it does make sense. And I have a feeling it might be interesting. They have checked out Off-Brand's draft a lot because they also sniffed out the Illidan before it actually happened. So I guess they know that the Genji is being played with ETC a lot.
Hello, Tyrael and Rel. That's super divey. I'm not liking the Anna pick more and more. I feel like they should. I mean, I'd hate to do it, but do they go double support here?
Ooh.
Because you have
That's
Rhaegar
an
healing,
interesting
you
option.
have Tyrael with shielding now, and Rel could technically heal.
The wait is over.
Hello.
change is upon us.
Mystic is writing bad UBC Off-Brand Serial cast full Sarge.
Oh. I
And
see Mystic is saying that in chat, right?
Yeah. But I'm not sure. I mean, it would have to be now. But does he fit into that super divey comp?
I think he could by pulling some. Oh, but Grey Mate.
It's full dive. It's
Full
full aggression on
dive.
the side of Off-Brand Serial.
Oh man, Walrex. I fear for your life, for your livelihood in this game. I mean, the Kerrigan's gonna dive in. The Cassia kind of is a diver in as well. I don't know. What do you think on this comp? Which team do you favor?
I mean, on paper, Off-Brand Serial comp is pure dive, right? And that makes us very worried about Anna. But on the other side, think about that we are playing Dragonshire. So on Dragonshire, you don't have that many 5v5 fights where like a full dive comp can shine. So I think it might be interesting, see through rotations before it is too late. The full dive of Off-Brand Serial could lose a lot of its power.
It's true, but Dahaka loses that top lane to Rel, right? Unless Tyrael's going top, which I don't think that's gonna happen. So with them losing top lane immediately, now you're kind of fighting for mid and bot. I don't know, I'm not sold on it, but we'll see. Going into game 3, we have Off-Brand Serial on the left, Mr. Dr. Patrick on Tyrael, Freeze Bug on Rel, Mad Buddha on Genji, Rakaton on Greymane, and Cute Friend on
Commencing in
the Rhaegar.
10 seconds.
And in the red, it is mildly interesting. Magnus Opus is playing the Haka, Happy Pants on Muradin this time, Miss Winterbird on Cassia, Warrex giving Anna again, and Rayleigh on Kerrigan, which annihilated the enemy team of the last map.
And real quick, thank you for the bits, Weenus. I don't know if you noticed that we're using your awesome map selector. Anyway, this is game number 3. We're gonna find out who's going to the Division D finals at the end of this matchup. I think you. Who was your vote for after this? After seeing the comps in this map,
Oh,
that you think's gonna win?
this is really tough. I'm gonna vote for mildly interesting here.
Okay.
I can't make the point why. I'm just hoping that their macro decisions
Yeah.
counter the full dive enough.
Yeah. I feel you. Mystic Hots, thank you as well for the bits. I'm gonna go with off-brand, mostly so that we guarantee one of us is right.
That's nice.
That way they can't go, oh, the casters were wrong completely. They both picked, one team to win.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
It's called hedging.
Both have been wrong.
Hedging, folks. All right. So we have interesting lane splits. We got Anna right now on the top with the Dahaka fighting against the Rel. We have a strong push in the bottom because we have Genji, Greymane, and the Rhaegar with just the Cassia and the Kerrigan. But we are going to get an early camp by mildly interesting.
Yeah, and they are even stopping to defend bottom for that one, so they lost a few minions there.
Ooh, that's
Warwick's actually making rotation.
right. That was like, that's a questionable rotation, Anna.
He's not the one who should choose that star.
Ooh, there's a nice sleep dart though on Rhaegar, getting those stacks. Speaking of, let's take a look at that level 1. Anna did go the dart quest. That's her first stack on there. We got enhanced agility. Ooh, but Raleigh
There's a fight happening here. Kerrigan is going down very quickly.
very quickly. That was rough. But anyway, we have enhanced agility by Dahaka, so he's going to be looking to brush stalk her in and chase somebody down like the dog they are. Other than that, everything else looks about this pretty much. Actually, Light of Karabar at level 1 for Rel is interesting too.
And I like that mildly interesting. They decide to play it like more like a 2-1-2 than a 1-4. And I think that the idea behind it is probably to like spread out the enemy even more.
Ooh, nice tongue on the Genji and a nice stun follow up, and he goes down. Magnus with a great burrow. Look how fast he's going with that already with the tissue regeneration. Or not tissue regeneration. Enhanced agility. He's like a little speed demon. Look how fast he just booked himself to the top of the map. Yeah, I know there's a fight going on bottom, chat, but look how fast the Dahaka's going.
Our cute friend actually in trouble. He drops the slow, gets out, and now it's Rayleigh who's getting low. Nice done by Happy Pants. Rakuten is still looking for
Oh, that cocktail was so close.
Moradin alone in the middle cannot take the dragon here, so Moradin should not die over it.
But Mildly Interesting is doing a really good job of controlling that top lane, not letting Rel get maximum value. So there's not going to be an easy dragon for either team so far.
Yeah. Kerrigan is working on the camp, and I mean that is pretty nice for mildly interesting, but they can split off the Kerrigan to do this kind of stuff here and do not lose too much map control over it.
Does look like off-brand Serial is getting good strong push in the bottom. They already got they're going to get the well. They got 2 towers.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
need
gonna be really
Moradin or
hard.
Cassia down there.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Mildly Interesting to retake that bottom objective right now.
It looks like mildly interesting is currently interested in dragging out the objective.
Oh yeah, they want 10s. Because like I think even last game, once they got their 10s online, they became like a really strong force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Spark and Marcus Opus are doing the tango on the top, but now Darko is actually being ganked
Can he
by
speed demon
Greymane.
away? Go, go! Oh, how sad. I was rooting for him.
And there's a nice little invade by Mighty Interesting in the bottom lane. All of these siege giants, and they do get the counter kill on Rhaegar.
Nice, but they didn't get the Sea Giants in time. But still, counter kill. They got control of the bot lane. Both teams are 2-2 on kills so far. And
Yeah,
it looks
I
mildly
think
interesting. It's
probably
kind of
borrow.
playing, I think, what they want to do, right? Like you said, they want to stall this out for as long as possible.
Yeah, and Teharker is of course borrowing back into the top. And they achieved their goal. They now, off-brand serial, they have to spread out. They have now also 2 people in the top. And this whole dive composition like doesn't work anymore if you don't have enough people around.
And mildly interesting is quickly taking the camps at the bottom. But there's a strong 3 individual push at the top lane. Magnus Opus is going to have to either call for reinforcements or be very, very careful of getting picked here.
And Tyrael is also going into the top lane. In the meantime, camps are being picked by Mighty Interesting, the hidden boss here, the Siege Giants, and the Bruiser camp.
I think are they coming top to respond? Kind of felt like they could have strongly countered push bottom.
Yeah, I would love to see Mighty Interesting pushing with these 2 camps here on the bottom.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's something going on in the mid lane instead.
We got a little bit of a skirmish going.
Oh, the
Hawke's
jump
gonna
had
take
been
top.
interrupted.
Oh, Avatar just in time. Speaking of that, though, let's take a look at the ultimates. Although Kerrigan might get caught out here.
Oh, it is the charge on Tyrael.
Ooh, Kerrigan gets a stun on Genji, and he kills him right before
and he
Ancestral.
gets the kill, she trades out.
That was actually pretty good considering she got caught out for a second. And Rhaegar's in
Yeah, I
no
saw
man's
that.
land. Dahaka's zoning out the Greymane. Rhaegar's
is trying to your best to delay the dragon in the mid, but it's gonna pick up here. But might be interesting getting the first dragon.
Yeah, it looks like he'll get away though. But they were, like you said, more interested in getting the first dragon. They're getting, gonna catch up now with getting towers in the middle. And mildly interesting is making this very interesting.
Indeed, they do, and they also get the fount now in the bottom. They can push in 2 lanes. Oh, there comes the Tyrael flying.
I cannot believe that. Okay, keep wanting to go through ultimates, but we have another skirmish perk and breaking out. Magnus with the dive to save himself a little bit. Oh, all right. I don't think anyone's gonna die here.
No, that should not happen here. Any kills. Chat was also asking for sanctification against the dive of Might Be Interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like Judgment's so weird. They did get all the towers and all the lanes with that dragon, so that was really well. Oh, there it is.
And
Anna
they
goes
proved me
down.
wrong immediately. The
But
Judgment gets value.
Rhaegar with 66 health hurries and scurries his way to safety. Raleigh is able to sneak away as well with the Happy Pants coming in, threaten a stun. So only 1 death, but
Oh, top lane.
yep, 2 deaths or a trade. That was a really good trade by Cassia. Sorry I missed that, but I'm sorry we missed that wind up bird, but stuff was happening in the bot lane. All right, ultimates real quick before something happens. Go, go, go. We got
Yeah,
Ardent
the
Defender on
adaptation.
Rel, Judgment
Yeah.
on Tyrael, Cursed Bullet on Greymane, X-Strike on Genji, and Ancestral Healing on the Rhaegar.
Yeah, on the other side we have adaptation on Teharker. Avatar, of course, you have seen it already. Ball Lightning for Cassier, which has been used to kill in the top. Nano Boost for Anna, of course, and Summon Ultralisk again, as in the previous game.
These 2 teams do not give us time to rest.
No, they do not. And look at the map; it's so even. They have the same amount of experience with the same number of skills, the same number of structures.
And they do.
It's
Both
insane.
teams do a really good job of going. A camp's up. Get it. Get it. We can't let a camp be on the map. It can't be available. It must be taken. Oh, Cassia with a questionable rotation. And she gets caught out by Off-Brand. She went down so quickly.
And I completely missed that one, but it's good you had it. So yeah, it's a 5-man push in the top. Off-Brand. They do not want to be spread out here.
And they are going to
And
get a
they see
counter,
the
though. Dahaka's going to get a counter, I think, on this fort at the bottom. So,
And
even
this
with
is
the
where-
pick, oh, Walrick's going
This
down
is
again.
where Honor has problems. The
Yeah.
Judgment, even deeper dive. Oh, Happy Pants and Rayleigh, I think they need to calm down a little bit here. They don't want to extend this fight.
Still, though, even through all that, even with an extra death, it's still pretty even.
It is, so they trade out the forts.
They have... Is Dahaka... Yeah, he's... Okay.
Blue team
He
has
Hearth.
destroyed a fort.
Looks like they're going to hit top before they can claim in the middle. So we have pretty interesting, pretty close matchup again. Mildly interesting. Pretty much just grouped up in the middle. I think they're looking to fight again. Like, even though they're not, Off-Brand Serial's not 16 yet, and from what I've seen, when they're as 5, mildly interesting has been dominating the last 2 games with the Kerrigan dive comps.
Yeah, it's the Judgment which makes it really dangerous for themselves. So I think they need to keep track of when Judgment is up and when not. Because the Judgment on Anna is lights out for her. And then you start losing the fight.
Oh, they're getting deep walls bottom with that. All right, fight may be a coming. Oh, Happy Pants going through the
Happy Pants is looking for it.
yep, the night camp.
I'm not sure about it. I think
Yeah.
they should be happy that they get a free clear.
Did they let Anna know that they're going in? Oh, they're trying to sneak it. They're trying to sneak the dragon.
Oh, that's
So-
a smart play.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure if it's worth it.
I don't know if it's worth it either, because they're gonna get a keep after this. They gotta go top with that dragon now.
I mean, but what hinders of
Yeah,
Brazil to just keep
oh
pushing?
no, Cassia and Dahaka cannot die here. Oh no, no. That dragon's got a long way to go, and that dragon cannot heart. Off-Brand
She
Serial.
could leave it.
Yeah.
The score is going down so quickly. I think that was not the right decision, but might be interesting here.
No. And that
The
is
misplay in the
GG.
macro. But you have to give it to Off-Brand. They did see the opportunity here to go into the bot lane and take a keep. They put on the pressure on Mighty Interesting, and they do take home game number 3.
Yep, and they will be moving on to the Division D finals. Oh, that was pretty good matches all around. So GG even 2, mildly interesting. But congratulations to Off-Brand Serial for getting the victory and moving on. Let's see if we can get someone in the for an interview.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. That I mean I saw what they were trying to do. I get it, but I don't like. Maybe don't be so aggressive with the Kerrigan, because she died so quickly, right? Like, I feel so bad because I feel like they were winning that game, and they just had like one kind of really bad call.
Yeah, it was one mistake basically, which cost them very, very dearly. Making that engage with Morden and Kerrigan. I mean, they could have still tried to sneak that dragon without engaging on them.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. Let's go to. Where are we? Let's go to lobby 1 for the interview.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wait for someone from Off-Brand Serial. But anyway, yes, like it was. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them about lobby 1. I like the comps. I had fun with that. That was really fun to see the interesting comps that both teams kind of threw out here in this matchup. And we are joined by Mr. Dr. Patrick. welcome and congratulations on your victory.
Hello and thank you.
Hey, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. Actually, that was really good. That was a really good set of games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was.
They came to play, and I really like. It was nice to see like you guys did kind of dominate game number 1. They dominated game number 2, and game number 3 was like super close throughout. So it was nice to see that both teams were pretty much even, like looked like evenly matched, and you guys did a really good job of at the end of that game 3 recognizing what they were trying to do and pushing for that win.
Yeah, I got to give them credit because they have come a long way since we played during the regular part of this whole tournament shindig. They have improved a lot. It's super impressive.
So, game number 1, let's talk about that one with the Zarya kind of a cheese comp. Was that a planned comp going into that map with what you saw them do, or did that kind of just evolve based on how the draft went?
Our 2 star drafters were talking shortly before the games, it's like a couple days ago, and one of them was like, "I want to play Proby," and then that was the end of that.
It was decided.
It was decided. It was set in stone. We were going to make a Proby comp happen some way or another.
So the idea of the comp was that Proby hangs out by himself, and the 4 just mad push down a lane with reckless abandon.
Proby splits. We split. They have to pick one or the other, but they can't pick both.
Mm-hmm. So what? You want for before I go move on to game number 2? Did you have any questions on game number 1?
Yeah, so they also picked the Everywhere with I mean, we talked a lot about it during the draft. It was a kind of questionable build there. Do you think it would have been that easy if they did not pick an Everywhere?
I think we could have made it happen regardless of the pick, honestly.
All right.
Game number 2, we'll talk about probably briefly for your sake, but that was a pretty strong. Like, it seemed like the Lily pick by them was in anticipation of your Illidan pick. Did that kind of make you question going the Illidan at that point, or did you just kind of say we still feel like it could have worked at that situation?
There is a chance they may have remembered the last time we played them there with an Illidan comp, and there is a chance that they were prepping for that. I mean, I wasn't them. I can't say, and I'm not our drafter, so it's kind of all up in the air. But from my perspective, they could have or could not have known what was going to happen.
And was there any talk in the draft to change the draft at that point? Because I have to say, I really feel like you guys lost that game purely on the draft, unfortunately.
I think some people on our team feel the same way. I'm not sure about everybody, but there was a lot of talking in the draft for our drafters. There was just a lot of like, wait, they picked that? Okay, well, I guess we're going to do this. And that's going on and on and on. And then we had what we had.
I mean, I will say in their defense, because I have been the drafter on my team before, it's kind of hard to sometimes, you have a plan and you have it set in stone and you kind of feel good about it, and all of a sudden like a huge monkey wrench gets thrown in and you're like, I'm running out of time. So I'm not going to give them too big of a hard time about it. Do you have anything on that one too? Do you want to go over?
Yeah, did you expect the Valera Kerrigan in the last rotation on their side there?
I don't think we expected the Kerrigan. I think Valera was like, they could pick Valera here. It was said at some point, but I don't think anybody was really thinking about Kerrigan. Then again, I don't think Kerrigan was the big crux of that whole thing.
I think it was the Valera, right? That's why you banned her in game 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she shut down Illidan and Lucio, pretty much everyone on the team, right? That must be so. I hate playing against a good Valera.
She was shutting us down, and those Johanna shield stuns were hurting too. It was a bad day, very bad day.
So talk about the happy game 3. where you all came out victorious. How did you feel leading into that final push right before that whole sequence kind of began?
I think it started out as we were just trading because they had taken our bot, we took theirs, and then we got some picks and we were like, all right, let's siege it up. But then we saw them going for the dragon, and it was like, well, if we kill Cassia and you have 2 people out somewhere else, not at home, I guess we get to live here now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we lived there, and now it's our shrine, our dragon shire.
I feel like that match was so close. Like I didn't know like who was gonna win that game because I feel like they were still winning team fights, but your team was doing such a good job of like keeping them off kilter and getting picks when needed. So it was a really good series overall. Do you have anything to add on that one, Tootie?
Yeah, I mean, I can just agree. This game looked very, very close, and then suddenly you win out of nowhere because of a questionable decision of Mightly Interesting. Do you guys feel like they gave you that one, or?
No, I wouldn't say they gave it to us, but they definitely made a faulty play, which caused their downfall.
Like I can see the logic behind getting the dragon. I don't think they realized how fast it could snowball at that point.
I feel like they expected us to defend the dragon, but we had all of us there.
Mm-hmm.
We actually thought they were going to come play D with the dragon, but they never did, and that was weird.
All right. Well, did you have any more questions, Tootie, before I let him go to shoutouts or anything?
Yeah. So you guys going into a grand finals? Did you have any look at your opponent so far?
I haven't looked at the thing. I'm sure at some point we will be looking at it and being like, hey, we have opponents, and that's kind of cool.
That is a good question though. Are you excited to be going to the finals though for Division D? I mean, you're already West Coast champions. Now you have a chance to prove yourself.
For me personally, this is the first real tournament I've played in. We've had a couple people on our team playing some other stuff before, but to be in my first one and then we go all the way, it's kind of cool.
Well, it looks like it's very deserved. Undefeated in the regular season. You've only lost 2 maps now, I think. Is that right? Through the playoffs?
Yeah, maybe.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout them out again. Mildly Interesting for coming so far since the season, improving so much, giving us a good set of games. It was very fun to play against y'all.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Patrick? You got lots of syllables.
Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick to you, sir.
You got a lot going on in the beginning of your name. But thank you for joining us. Congratulations again, and good luck in the finals next week.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Tootie. That's going to end it for us. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to say or any shout-outs you'd like to make?
It was super fun co-casting with you. It was an amazing series. I can't wait for the grand finals next week.
Yeah, me neither. Thank you very much for joining me. It's always fun to do this with a partner. I will throw out another thank you to Super Dave for the 100 bits when that happened, I think, during the interview. So thank you all for the bits, and thank you for coming out to watch this matchup. Once again, I like to say, well played, both teams. Off-brand cereal with the victory, but Mildly Interesting. They came out, and I mean, that could have been anyone's series. So well done. There's nothing to be ashamed of for them in the series at all.
Indeed.
So thanks again for joining. Once again, this was Division D West Coast Finals. Off-brand cereal came out on top 2-1 over Mildly Interesting. Thank you all for joining, and you all have a wonderful evening.